All right, welcome people to our next part in the series. For this week, we will be doing Will You Press the Button? And it looks like it is my partner's turn to read today.
Yeah. And if you guys notice that Kurt's voice is not the best quality because he's on his Bluetooth, he's not at home. So, alright, so first one. The man slash woman of your dreams falls in love with you, but you have to give up your five most prized possessions and you will always live in poverty.
No, that's not really worth it because typically it says that the man or woman, so whoever your dream person is, if it's a celebrity, they're obviously not used to living in poverty. So it says they'll fall in love with you, but it doesn't say that they can fall out of love with you. So they're probably not going to want to live in poverty after being like a celebrity or something like that. So no.
Right. Plus, it wouldn't even benefit you either. It would actually just make your life a living hell. So, not gonna. I don't think that's worth it either. Why is it taking so long? There it goes. Are you still there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thought you almost like lost connection. Alright.
It was probably close.
You're the president of the world, but you become a midget. I don't know. If I became a midget, I think everybody would probably talk behind my back.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
talking behind your back, so it's not like you hear it. But then at the same time, uh, if you're becoming president of the world, no, that's still not worth it because with the way our government works now is so fucked up. It's not like just because you're the president of the world, it's not going to benefit you at all.
Right. Alright. Speak 8 languages of your own choosing, but terrible stutter. No. If I want to speak multiple languages, I want it to be perfect or close to.
Um, yeah, I'd agree. I would want to be able to speak them like fluently, and like I don't have a stutter as it is now, so all of a sudden to develop a stutter would not really be worth it.
But at the same time, it doesn't say that you can't like work on fixing it. So
Well, yeah, you could, but like
uh,
I don't know, because I mean, at the most, there's only a few languages that I want to learn anyway. So having my choice of eight would be kind of cool, I guess. So I
hmm,
mean, for that one, I guess I would actually probably press it because yeah, it's not like you couldn't work to get past your stutter so that you wouldn't have it anymore.
jokes on you already have a terrible stutter. All right. All disagreements are now resolved with an over-the-top dance-off, but you're really bad at dancing.
So that
Yeah.
means you lose like you'll lose every disagreement for like the rest of your life. So I would definitely say no because like really, you would lose every disagreement you have for the rest of your life.
Hashtag white people problem.
Wow, that's probably kind of true though, really, because I know I can't dance for shit. So
Yeah, me either. Any superpower you wish for, but everyone knows and wants your help. Hmm. That would get really annoying.
Maybe, but depending on how you help people, it could benefit you a lot because it doesn't say you couldn't charge them money for for your help. You'd have a lot of different people coming to you for help, so then if you help them, you can charge them money.
Yeah, but who would actually pay? That's the thing.
I guess it depends on what kind of help they need, but if they need the right kind of help, there's probably a lot of people that would pay for it. Or if they didn't, then you wouldn't have to help them. It doesn't say you have to.
Right.
It says that they want your help, so you don't have to help them though either.
But if we take the route that you were talking about, paying money, I would imagine that people that you probably shouldn't be hanging around with or the wrong crowd would only like be most of your business.
Yeah, probably.
I
That's
don't.
probably true, but then there's other benefits you would have, so I don't know. I would press it, so.
I wouldn't. 76% have pressed the button. So even if that was a possibility, like that could like work against the cops. And then I don't know. I think the world would just like start going downhill from there.
Maybe, but you're only one person. Even if you chose like the same superpowers as like, Superman or whatever, then still, you're still only one person at that point.
All right, next. You are able to manipulate the mind of everybody that you see, but everybody that you look at appears naked. Yeah, even old ladies.
Yeah, so like even old ladies or old guys. So
Okay, but it doesn't say that you have to look at everybody. Okay, but
no, so you could basically kind of close your eyes, but then
I
if you
think
could get
that that would be a pro, like a pro perk of it.
actually think it would be too, because then you could look at a lot of, girls or whatever that you like, and you'd be able to see what they look like naked before you even like did anything.
Right.
Or the other way around, and then as long as you closed your eyes at the right time, you probably wouldn't be too traumatized. So you'd maybe just kind of maybe have to start walking around and pretending you're blind or something. That way you'd have an excuse to keep your eyes closed most of the time. And then you could just look at the people that you would want to look at, I guess.
Hmm. All right. Oops, I meant to press good, but I'll press bad out of habit. You can travel between the real world and any fictional world that you want at any given time, but jumping between worlds has a chance that something will alter in each world that can vary from a simple climate change to a natural disaster such as a meteor strike.
So
Okay,
it basically means you can jump into any kind of world you want, but there's a chance that you could at the same time destroy that world.
right. So basically, the fate is in your decision.
Well, it's not really oh, it kind of is your decision, but it's not, you can't control the chance though. So then
Right.
you would either just not do it so that you didn't destroy whatever happened, or you just maybe jump into a different world and then stay there for a while. So
Okay, well, if I could choose a fictional world that I want, and it doesn't have to be a fixed fictional world with somebody already made it up, then yeah, I think I would press the button.
Yeah, I would think that would still be worth it because if it could be any fictional world, you could essentially also create your own fictional world made to your liking, and then you probably just wouldn't ever want to leave anyway.
Right.
So then you could just live out the rest of your life there, and then there you go. So yeah, I'd press it too.
Oops. You become the best at your favorite video game, but it turns out people were only playing it ironically, and now you're the only one person that plays it. Hmm.
Um, okay, I would press the button and then I would choose Call of Duty. That way nobody would play Call of Duty anymore, and they would have to make something else.
Yeah, finally be the end of the series. Thank God.
Exactly. That way they would have to make like something else because nobody would play it anymore. So that's my solution to that problem. So I would press that button because then I could get rid of some series that sucks.
Alright. You get your very own Crystal Farm action figure. What's Crystal Farm?
Fuck if I know.
But use them in is allowed. Play. I don't even know what the reference is.
I don't either. I've never heard of that crap. Doesn't even sound like fucking anything for like Skylander stuff. You know how they have that stuff where you got the figurines and you can put them into the game and shit like that.
Hmm.
But that kind of sounds like something similar, but not really. But I've never even heard of it, so I don't care. So I'm not gonna press the button.
Alright. You will get a fully functional lightsaber, but you will lose your father's respect with no chance of regaining it. I don't really care for my father's opinion, so
Yeah, and mine's dead, so I would press that button because I don't care. I want a fucking lightsaber.
you become a
Give me,
Jedi
yeah, I'll
Master.
take.
What'd you say?
Said I'll take a green one.
Oh. Uh, I'd want blue, if there is blue.
Yeah, there's blue.
Alright. You can read anyone's mind, but anyone can read your mind, and everyone knows that you can read theirs. So this is basically like the same thing about like last time where we were talking about how you can make people love you and they can also make, vice versa or whatever.
Okay, so they would know you can read their mind. So at that point, they could start kind of consciously filtering their thoughts so that you wouldn't be able to really see anything else unless you had the powers to kind of dig deeper into their mind to actually pull out the thoughts of what they're really thinking, I guess. So if you had that kind of power, then you'd be able to find out either way, but then you'd probably just have everybody avoiding you. Nobody would probably want to be around you anymore.
Right.
So I don't think that's worth it because you'd pretty much probably lose everything because your family and friends and stuff wouldn't want to be around you anymore.
Okay. You have the ability to become a cat whenever you want. Like, who wants to do that? But once you do it, it's permanent.
I know.
Yeah, no.
Maybe if it was like a cute little dog or something. Well, if it was permanent, I probably wouldn't want to do it, even if it was a dog. But
But what if you had like a really hot owner?
maybe then it would maybe be worth it because then you'd be able to climb all over them all the time and stuff like that, and they probably wouldn't push you away. So you know.
Alright, next. You can have any video game for free, but you can't use your thumbs.
Okay, that defeats the
Well,
purpose.
I don't. I mean, I use my thumb on my keyboard, but I guess I could live without it.
Well, you could, but I can't. 'Cause I play console gaming. That's like half of it right there is your thumbs for the thumbsticks. I mean, yeah, I could understand like if you just did like PC games, it wouldn't matter because half the time you just use your index fingers and stuff for that.
Alright.
So you'll probably press it, but I won't.
PC gaming, motherfucker. Alright. You can bring about peace or world peace, but the world will hate you and blame you for all the problems you solved. Well, this doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, because like you'd probably even if you did like it would basically mean that the whole world would hate you and you would probably get like assassinated and stuff. So I'm sure I'm not gonna press it.
So the world would blame you for fixing like all the wars that
Everything.
we have.
Wars, diseases, like well, I mean it says world peace, so it doesn't necessarily say that you cure any diseases, but that could be it because that's kind of part of it, kind of. Now,
If
what
this planet sort of like gets enjoyment out of uh causing pain in other countries, then I don't want to live anymore.
somewhat, but it's already that way, so I don't know.
Alright. You can withdraw unlimited amounts of money from your bank account, but the money is coming from people with the lowest income until they have no money. Then it goes to the next poorest person with money and so on. Hmm. Is that how actually banks work? Like take out money from other people's accounts?
No,
Okay. Well, then that's. But wait a minute. If you can do that to other people, that means other people can do it to you.
not really. Not from the way it says it. Because you're the only one with the ability to withdraw unlimited amounts of money. So you're the only one with that ability, but it still means that you're taking from poor people, basically. So if that person only has like $100 in his account, it's going to take it from him, and then it's going to go to the next one that only has like 120, 130 to add up to. It's going to take from however many people it needs to amount to however much you're taking. So if you go to your bank after you press the button and you decide to take out like $1 million, that $1 million is going to come from somewhere, and it's going to start from the people with the poorest, like basically the poorest, or at least with the lowest balances in their account at the time. So you're still basically going to be taking all of other people's money to get your
Uh,
money.
I don't think that's. I don't think that's worth it.
Yeah, not really, because that's pretty selfish. That's kind of messed up.
Hmm.
If it was just coming from like nowhere and it was magic money and you could just take as much as you want and it didn't really affect anybody, yeah, of course. But then that wouldn't be the point of this game. So
Well, at least 50%, 57% agreed with us. At least there's still a small sign of faith in humanity. Uh, you will be rich and famous, but you can only speak in Shakespeare quotations. Yeah, no.
No, no, probably not.
Unless there was like that small off chance that there would be like a girl out there that would find that kind of thing attractive, or
But
maybe
yeah,
it
you would
turns
have
her
to find
on.
like that one girl. I mean, there's probably more than just one girl out of like the whole world, of course, maybe. For that, it probably wouldn't be worth it because like that's the only thing you can speak in. And so are we but also are we talking like Shakespeare quotations from all of his books, or are we talking Shakespeare quotations from Shakespeare? Because he wrote that one book. So there's the one book. Do we only get to use quotations from that one book, or do we get to cover like all of his books? Because then
I don't.
otherwise we're going to have a very limited vocabulary.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm assuming they're trying to say like the type of English that Shakespeare would have used. So
Okay, well,
not necessarily limited to Shakespeare's writing
okay, so if it was just like you would talk in that old
dialect.
style
Yeah.
accent and dialogue and stuff, then that would actually be pretty cool. So, I would actually probably go for that then because at the same time, it's making you rich and famous. And there's probably a lot of people that would think it would be kind of cool for you to be talking like that. So, you know, yeah. So, in a way, both of those could be pros at the same time, really. So, I'd press it.
All right.
I'd go for
All right. You will be smarter than Einstein, but you will never understand social situations. Well, if you're
it. So,
smart,
you
who really cares?
basically.
I
Huh.
think other people would want to come to you if you're the smartest person that ever lived.
Well, yeah, you probably would, but at the same time, like, you'd basically be like a social pariah, though. Because, like, you wouldn't understand, like, you wouldn't, like, if a woman was hitting on you, you wouldn't be able to understand that.
Well, if okay, that there's that, yes, but at the same time, if a woman really wants to be with somebody who's extremely intelligent or who she thinks that somebody is worth it, then she probably shouldn't give up after the first try.
Maybe, but then if she did, though, I'm just saying it could lead to a lot of missed possibilities because you wouldn't understand the cues anymore of, like, oh, hey, she's flirting with me. I should flirt back. You wouldn't understand that kind of stuff anymore. Or if you
Okay.
were annoying somebody and they wanted you to shut up, if they were too polite to tell you, you wouldn't be able to understand from like their body language and stuff
Right.
that they would you to quit. You wouldn't be able to comprehend that stuff technically anymore.
I think that there could also be a downside with this whole thing about being smart because I think the smarter somebody is, the more narcissistic they can become or sensitive to somebody else's criticism they can
Yeah,
become.
yeah. There's that too. So that's what I'm saying. It'd be all of a sudden becoming that smart could change you. Like it depends on who you are, I guess, because like if you look back at Einstein, like he wasn't like that. He knew he was super smart and he was a pretty good guy though, all in all. At least from what you read in history. Otherwise, you can't know for sure. But like, at least what they say about him, it seems like that he was a decent guy. So it doesn't necessarily have to, but yeah, if maybe if you were, it could change your personality a lot. So
Actually, now that I think about it, there's a movie that plays out this scenario perfectly. You ever heard of Good Will Hunting?
I've heard of it, but I never watched it. Actually, I never did.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, well it's about I think I'm not exactly sure, but this guy comes across like a extremely hard math problem that nobody's been able to solve. I think like not even a college professor or something. I don't know. Anyways, he's supposedly smarter. Uh, I wouldn't say than Einstein, but smarter than the professor that he meets up with and the person that he's counseling with or whatever. Anyways, he's extremely narcissistic and he doesn't understand social situations very well and he doesn't understand his own feelings or whatever.
Right. So
So,
that's what I'm saying. From that, you
but
could see it
but
could actually be
but
more of
at
a
the same
burden.
time, somebody else who's being played by Robin Williams goes out of their way to make sure that they, I guess, get back to normal.
Right. Yeah, because I
So
remember it had Robin Williams was the professor, and then there was like Matt Damon played the genius guy, and then there
yeah,
was Ben Affleck or whatever played like the friend kind of guy
yeah.
or whatever that helped him like kind of get over himself. You could say, really.
So if I had that waiting for me down the line, like if I knew I could count on people to help me down the road realize stuff, then I think it would be okay. So
Yeah, at that point it could be worth it, but that's only if you found that person that would be willing to help you, kind of become more of a normal person. That way you could like learn kind of what you needed to know. But then with that kind of like IQ though and knowledge and stuff, you could do a lot of good for, for kind of humankind, I guess.
hmm
Though. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'd press it too then, I guess. Because in a way, the benefits a little bit more outweigh the cost because you could always kind of learn that back for the social cues and stuff like that. You could kind of learn that back again and stuff.
hmm All right, this will probably be the last question.
Okay.
All right, so you will be the most beautiful person in the world, but everybody who looks at you goes blind.
Oh, that's just messed up.
Yeah, that's like kind of completely defeats the purpose.
Yeah, because like they see you once, and then you're the fault for them becoming blind, so nobody's gonna like you. Like you wouldn't be able to go anywhere anymore because you'd just make everybody blind. Because that person sitting across from you in their own car across the stoplight or some shit across the intersection all of a sudden looks at you. Now he's blind. Now he can't drive no more. Like you couldn't go anywhere anymore. That would
Yeah.
be so. That's not worth it. No, I'm not pressing that button. I don't care. That's not. That's not worth it. You would just be causing so much trouble for other people that you don't even know, just because they decide to look at you in your general direction and they see you for like a second, they go blind. That's messed up.
All right, that's it.